Oh, come on. God damn it. Hello, everybody. Sorry, there was a little bit of a delay there because my internet connection, it's supposed to be a really good internet connection. It's like 1 gigabyte or megabyte or mega gigabyte or whatever they call it. And it was like a special deal with Suddenlink that they talked me into. So it's supposed to be really good. But I noticed that I guess in this apartment complex that I'm living in, there's some like issues. So sometimes it'll have hiccups where suddenly it's like not working, and I have to go offline and go back online and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very annoying. But I tell myself this living situation, which has not been a great living situation for me for this year. I've only got 4 months left. In the beginning of next year, I'm moving. So I don't know where yet, but I'm moving. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to our Saturday afternoon sprints. I guess you could call these lunchtime sprints. It's 11 o'clock here in Texas, and so happy for you to join me. So we are going to be doing. Actually, I'm going to start the timer right now so that we can get into it. We're going to be doing 4 20-minute sprints with 5 minute breaks. So sprint times, you can do whatever you want. If you want to do writing stuff, that's terrific. If you have other stuff you need to get done, maybe admin stuff, maybe chores, things like that, welcome to do that as well, because that'll leave you more time for writing. So later on. So, I know sometimes people can't, do writing at certain times of the day. Like, actually, this time of day is not the best time for me to do like first draft kind of writing, because I really have to focus, and I'm better doing that like in the morning, or even, like in the evening after I've like rested and things like that. So just doing whatever you want to be doing and whatever you can get done for 20 minutes. And then we have 5 minute breaks. And those are breaks where you can get up and stretch and get a bio break, get a snack, get a glass of water, whatever you want to do. You can sit here and chat with me, because heaven knows I can chat your head off. So always happy to chat with anybody who wants to chat. So let us know, what are you working on for these sprints for the next couple of hours. Hopefully you'll be sticking around for a couple of hours. I already got I'm working on 2 projects simultaneously. And one of them is like a first draft project. That's kind of how I'm trying to balance it out now, because I'm upping my game in terms of like projects and published books and writing books and things like that. So, but it's really difficult for me to work with 2 first drafts. So, like 2 different first drafts at the same time, because it takes so much, creative energy and so much focus and concentration. So, I'm trying to balance it out with like doing one project that's like first draft or revision, because for me, revisions are also pretty heavy duty. And one project which is kind of more lighter, like editing, proofreading kind of stuff. So planning also. So this morning I did the writing, and it's first draft book 5, which I'm working on now. And then for these sprints, these next 2 hours, I'm going to be working on edits for book 4. And book 4 is actually a novella. It's a novella I wrote in 2018. But in terms of like the timeline of the series and stuff, it actually belongs to, as book 4. So that's what I'm working on. So let's see what else everyone is working on and who's joining us. Good morning, Kat. Wonderful to see you. It's just 9 in California. Yeah, plenty of time to get things done. Absolutely. Yes, and thank you for joining us so early on a Saturday morning. Wonderful to see you. And then Kat says, I'll be researching genres on Amazon. this sprint. That's beautiful, wonderful, very, very important to research genres. And also, you know, if because I don't know if you're publishing wide, Cat, or if you're planning to publish wide, or if you're publishing just KU. But if you're publishing wide, doing also genre research on some of the other platforms is really important too. You know, and that's something that I just recently discovered. So because I never used to do that, and you know, I just used to do my research on Amazon, you know, just to kind of see, you know, who's out there, what are they publishing, how often are they publishing, even like, you know, the minutia of things like how are they handling the titles of their books, the titles of their series, their blurbs, all that kind of stuff. And I recently discovered that, you know, going into, like, if you're publishing wide, going into things like Barnes and Noble, Google Play, places like that really helps also to kind of see how authors are handling their books on other platforms, because you know, it's not like a one size fits all. Each platform is different. I'm really learning so much about, like, you know, publishing on the other platforms, and I happen to love it. And I know that, you know, KU is really awesome for many authors, and it's for many authors, it's where the money is. I kind of prefer to go wide though. Um so interesting. Yeah, Kat says good idea. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, it's just, I mean, and you know, sometimes it doesn't matter, but other in some things it does. So it's just, ooh, that's too loud. That's way too loud. So it just, I mean, I think it's just interesting to kind of see other perspectives. So, okay, so we're gonna go for the first 20 minutes. Let me set our timer here. 20 minutes for whatever you need to do. I will see you all in 20 minutes. I'm going to be muting myself and also turning off the camera so I don't distract anybody. See y'all in 20 minutes. Okay, that was our first sprint. Let me get the ticker off and let's get the 5 minute break going. So, how did that go? So, what did you get done? Let us know, please, in the chat because we love to cheer you on. So, let me see. Let's put the 5 minute ticker. There we go. Okay, so we know we're on. So we all know we're on break. I got some proofreading done, and I got to tell you, this is going to be a much heavier proofread than it's actually more of an edit. It's not really a proofread. It's an edit than I thought it was going to be because I just had in my mind that this novella was all written and I just have to edit it like line editing kind of stuff. But I'm finding a lot it's kind of weird because when I wrote this novella, I wrote it with a different time frame in mind. I had in mind that the book was going to be kind of come time wise between books 1 and 2. So when you're talking about a series, you're talking about like what are the events that happened, how does the character develop, even if it's like a standalone series like mine is, but still those things matter. So it's like I'm looking at the book now, and of course now the book is book 4. So we've got more books that have come in between. It's also later in terms of the time frame. So it's like I'm looking at the book and I'm looking at the characters and their situation, and I have to kind of sort of reframe and rethink how these characters are fitting into the story, where they are now, which is not where they were when I first wrote the novella. So it's definitely it's kind of a juggling act, really. It's kind of a juggling act. So it's just not straightforward line editing like I thought. So it's like this is going to take me a lot longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what has to happen to make a good book. So let's see. Okay. Hello, Amanda. Wonderful you could join us. Yes, it is perfect timing. It's always perfect timing. It's all whenever you jump in. It's even if you're jumping in the last 5 minutes of the last sprint, always perfect timing. Let's see. Kat says I kept getting lost in books. Yeah, so many good books. I know. Yeah, I totally, yes, totally right. Totally right. Yeah. When you just keep getting lost in the books. And that's actually a really good thing. That's a good thing. Because, I think that when you start to get lost, when you're doing research, for like indie author research on the book vendors and stuff, and you get lost in the books, I think it means that part of what it means is that you're in the right genre. You're in a genre that you like and that you're interested in. So I think that's a really good thing. Hello, Linda. First time here. Awesome. Welcome. I got 80 words down. That is awesome. That is wonderful. I did some writing this morning. I did like one 15-minute sprint and then two 25-minute sprints. And I got something like, actually, I can tell you exactly what I got because I've got it written down here. I got 1,962 words. So not bad. I'm shooting for at least like 2,000 words a day because I'm trying. I have a deadline for the book, and so I'm trying to finish it, but it is not going to be finished by the deadline because here's what happens always. I'm like, okay, this is the total number of words I'm going to write, and this is the number of words that I want to write a day, and so this is the number of days it's going to take. But what ultimately happens is that when I go into my outline and I start writing from my outline, it turns out a lot longer. So it's kind of like, okay, it's going to take me a lot more days just because I have, not because of the number of words that I'm writing or not writing a day, but just because there's, a lot more scenes and things like that. So, and then I thought it was. So, yeah. So, and And my first drafts are always like a mess. How let me know, everybody, how are your first drafts? Are you like very focused when you write the first draft, and so when you get to revisions you're not having to do a whole lot of revisions? Or are you, kind of just all over the place writing the first draft, just kind of really focused on getting the story down and saying, okay, I can just later on, I can just fix it? I love to hear, like what everybody's writing process is. So let me know what it is in the comments. Talk about perfect timing. So there we go. So let's go into the second 20-minute sprint. We're going to go for 20 minutes, whatever you need to do. If it's writing, if it's non writing, totally great. We are here to support you. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Okay, that was sprint number 2. I'm just trying to look at my Okay, I'm just trying to look at my microphone here. So it looks like maybe I did not mute for the last sprint. I apologize for that. I need to make sure that I'm doing that kind of thing. So let's see, let's put 5 minutes. Let's see. I've got one of these like mice, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Mice. I got mouse. So so I use instead of the trackpad that I use. So I'm using this. This is like yeah, this is like it's just like a little cheapie that I bought at Walmart. So but sometimes like the buttons just aren't working the way that they should. So sometimes I'll like press down on the button to mute, and then it won't mute. So let me know how that went. I'm getting a little further in the story. It's a little it's and now it's like to a part that's like a little messy, but I'm trying to. So I'm sort of doing kind of like edits and rewrites sort of at the same time, which honestly I don't like doing. I like to separate, do like concentrating first on revisions and then concentrating on edits. But I've got a deadline to get this to my editor. So I guess that's what we're going to be doing. So, okay. Let's see. So let's see what our lovely people have to say. So Amanda says, I outlined because I asked a question about how you tackle first drafts. So Amanda says I outline pretty heavily first. So my first drafts are mostly in order. That is awesome, Amanda. I also outline pretty heavily just because I write cozy mysteries, so historical cozy mysteries. So mystery plots are for me they can get complicated. So you've got the clues and the suspects and the witnesses and all that kind of stuff. So for me, outlining really kind of helps me just sort of juggle all those balls in the air. So I also outline pretty heavily, but sometimes I don't see the story. I think in a way that makes logical sense, and I don't realize that until I actually start writing. So let's see. Kat says my first drafts, which I write pretty chronologically, always have a huge hole in Act Two. Yes. Yes, yeah, that the dreaded middle, I totally get you. And yeah, and I do a lot of like stretch. For me, the problem with me with middles is that I do a lot of stretching out. So it's kind of like, stuff that should be, I don't know, maybe like 3 scenes is like stretched out into 6 scenes, and I only see that. But usually write them anyway. I usually write them anyway because I just say, okay, I don't know what I'm going to want to keep, what I'm going to want to trash. And then when it revision, then I go back and then I see, okay, where's all the baggy spots here that I just need to get rid of. Let's see. Kat says always. Yes. Hello, Catherine. Wonderful to see you. Oh, you didn't hear anything? Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That means I was quiet. Let's see. Amanda says got a decent amount done. Awesome. My brain is pretty done at the moment, though, as I'm going to head out. Oh, okay. Well, but it was wonderful that you joined us for the sprint that you did. Thank you, Amanda. I totally get it. Saturdays I think are just like, brain is kind of like a little bit on, a little bit off kind of thing. Catherine says, I'm working on GSPs of the final chapter of book 2. I've done revisions and edits on 2 books in a row. That is awesome. So I am heartily sick of the process. I can definitely identify with that. Yes, totally identify with that. And I a lot of times I feel that way when it gets to proofreads, because proofreads, and I've mentioned this in my sprints before, a lot of times proofreads are like the hell of, writing for me. I hate proofreads. I don't have patience for. I can do the revisions, I can do the edits, the first drafts, all of that stuff, and I'm good with that. When it comes to proofreads, it's just like I just want to throw the damn computer out the window. It's just I just don't have the patience for it. But yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, kind of mixing it up, I think is really good, which is why I'm happy that I started working on two projects simultaneously at different um, parts of the writing process, so that I kind of get a little bit refreshed one from the other. So it really helps. It really helps. Okay, so we've got only about 5 seconds left. We're going into hour two. So there we go. Okay, so going into hour two, we're going to go for 20 minutes. Whatever you need to do, we are here for you. I will see you all in 20 minutes, and this time I'm not going to forget to mute. Sorry about that. I was just like I got pulled into the Facebook sphere for the last couple of minutes. I was just responding to somebody, and y'all know how that is. You're like in the middle of typing, and you want to finish what you're saying. So, okay, we're about to go into our last sprint, and I have not been doing my duty, which is to let you all know, get up, stretch, get a glass of water, get a cup of coffee, get a bio break if you need one, get a snack, whatever you need to do. Oh, excuse me. To just get the blood flowing and get your mind cleared a little bit as we're about to go into this last sprint. Also, just as a reminder of the Wings on Writers Discord channel, this is the lovely Cheryl Crow's channel, the one that she started, and Cheryl's birthday today. So happy birthday, Cheryl. I don't know if she's with us. So I'm sorry, it's not Cheryl. It's Shirley. Shirley Crow. My apologies for that. I have somebody else who I know who Cheryl, so I get them, and they're spelled very similarly with a Y, so I get them mixed up. So no, but definitely and I have the link to the Discord channel in the description, so you're welcome to join. There are more writing sprints through that channel. There is a bot, like a snarky, they call them a snarky bot, where you can just do your own writing sprints if no one else is doing writing sprints. There are a lot of events going on through the Discord channel. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful place to be. So how did that go? Let me know what you all did for that sprint, what you got done. Let's see. Okay, Kat says making cinnamon rolls before PNT Q&A. Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Oh, there's a Q&A today of a PNT. I'm guessing you mean like Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive. Oh, I didn't know that the new course was starting. I did the course, I think about 2 years ago, something like that. So I'm not always, so I'm an alumni, so I don't always, keep up with the live Q&As. But sometimes I do listen to the replays because there's a lot of awesome information there. Hello, Brandy, popping in to say hi and lick the like button. Thank you. Today is about errands. I hear you, hon. I hear you totally. And Brandy, if you can get hold of the Wings of Writers Discord, or not, yeah, the link tree, the link to the link tree, then please, feel free to put it in the comments. Because again, the Wings of Writers has so much cool stuff going on there for writers. It's really worth checking out. So let's see. Hello, Rachel, trying to get into revisions. I hear you. I totally hear you. And it's interesting because one of the writing groups, I think it was I want to say, what is it? Is it like 20 books, 50K, I think is what they call themselves. They were talking a while back about, like how some writers can get so many books written. And a lot of those writers were talking about how they just kind of have learned to bypass the revision stage. So basically they're, writing the first draft and then editing it or giving it to their editor, and then it's formatting and it's ready to go for them. And for me, it's like I could not forego the revision stage. It's just I can't do it. There's just so much that if I did that, I would never get the first draft written. Because I would be like, my perfectionist would like kick in. I'm like, I got to get this right, the first time around. Whereas now, I can write the first draft free, just get the words down and just say, okay, I'll take care of this. I know this is what I've just written now is really stupid, but, I'll fix it later. So that's just the way I am. Let's see. Catherine says, just discovered I haven't backed up any of the revisions for book 2 yet. Ooh, yikes. Yeah. Busily correcting that oversight. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Yes, definitely. Backups, very, very important. I actually got myself a hard drive because I was doing Dropbox, but I'm trying to save money now. So I went off of Dropbox. So I bought this. This is like a Seagate. I don't even know which one it is. It's like a Seagate hard drive, and it's nice and compact. And it has, I think, like 2 TBs on it. I don't even know what that stands for, but it's like a lot of space. So it's really great. It's really great. Let's see. Rachel says, well, the betas are very pleased with how well it read. That's awesome. And it was really only draft true, but my writing partner and I are meticulous up front. Good for you. So either way, you're taking time to handle it. I agree. I totally agree, Rachel. I totally agree. Yeah, it's like either way, it's like that's part of the process. That's part of the writing process. Nobody gets it right the first time. Nobody gets it right. And if a writer tells you, oh, I get it right in the first draft, they're lying. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'll just get to these comments really quick. Catherine says, skipping revisions. That explains why there are so many books that are not so hot out there. Okay, sorry, I was stumbling on that word a minute. Yeah, yes, I think for some writers, that just doesn't work. I mean, even it just doesn't work. It just some writers it does, and some it doesn't. Let's see. Calvin says the hard drive is on the list. Yes, and they're not that expensive. They're like I think 60. This one, I think the one I bought was like $69, something like that. They're really not that expensive. Okay, last comment. Rachel says, I think I put my books through at least 4 drafts. Yeah. And if I have money saved up, I'll grab an editor. Yes, yeah, me too, Rachel. Me too, Rachel. Yeah, I put my books through quite a bit of drafts, and I'm okay with that. I think once you have the writing process kind of streamlined, and you know exactly what you need to do for each book, then the process it kind of starts to go much smoother. But you got to find it. You got to find your own writing process. So okay, let's go into our last sprint because I don't want to babble too much for you all here because we're here to do some work. Last sprint. Let's see what we can do. Whatever we can do, it's going to be amazing because it's Saturday afternoon and nobody gets anything done on Saturday afternoon. So the fact that you all are here is terrific. I will see you all. Set the timer in 20 minutes. That's it. That was the last sprint. So just leave me with what you all got done. I hope you all got stuff done that was productive for you. I don't know how many pages I got through, but I'm on page 75 out of 150. So I'm halfway through the novella, which is really, really great. And it's going to take me longer than I thought, but that's okay. That's okay. That's just fine. So let's see who all is still with us. All the wonderful, awesome people. Let's see. Okay. Rachel says, yes to Catherine. I have put 3 books on a do not finish pile because of it. Yeah, it just gets all over me. Yes. Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah. I have a friend who, is also like reads a lot of books from like authors who, put out books so quickly. And she said, sometimes it's like it kind of gets it's sort of like they're using the same formula in the same way that by like book 3 I'm just like, okay, I'm just not finishing this book just because I've been there, done that. So Rachel says, in case I get dragged out of the office, enjoy your afternoon. Okay, well, hopefully you did not get dragged out of the office. Catherine says, I need to grab lunch. Yes, I'm tying up at time. Thanks for the sprints. You are most welcome, Catherine. I'm always happy to do the sprints. And yes, it is lunchtime. Hello, Alexandra. Love from Germany. Love back to you from Texas. And we have actually just finished the last sprint, but I will be back here next Saturday and we will get stuff done. Thank you to everyone who joined me. I love having you all here. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday and a great weekend. Get some rest. Hopefully, the heat has kind of broken wherever you are. It's starting to break here in Texas. We're not doing the 100 plus anymore degrees. We're more around like the high 80s, low 90s. So believe me, that's a big win. That's a big win here in West Texas. So have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully I will see you all next Saturday.